Just when I begin to feel that they have forgotten me entirely, I hear a key rattling in the lock.
Hello again. I'm sorry about all of this. I know it's not your fault. You were just as surprised by Bradley's actions as we were.
What's going on? What are you going to do with him?
That is a problem. I would like to turn him over to the police, but as you know, the phones aren't working. And even if we could call the force fields...
So you're just going to keep us here?
Lynn's is still working on solutions.
I need to go home now. I have a paper to write. I have chem exercises to finish.
Finding a way to get you through the field is our top priority.
If that were really true, they would just turn off the power and let me go. For some reason, they don't think that's an option.
You are still my guest. You're free to go about the house. Just please, be careful.
I'm always careful. He looks at me for a long moment, then turns and walks away. So, I'm not a prisoner, except that I am, just with a bigger prison, but they're trapped in the house as well. I walk out of the bedroom and into the hallway. There's no sign of anyone. There must be some kind of way out of here.
Janet?
Huh? There's a thumping noise and one of the doors shivers.
In here. I'm locked in.
Well, good.
Please, you have to listen to me. You're my only hope.
Should Janet hear him out? Well, of course not. He should have thought about this earlier. You should have thought of that earlier. And I turn and flounce away. How dare he claim to need me now after the way he's treated me? I don't know how much of his story is just crazy talk, and I don't care. He doesn't deserve my help. I want to go home. I hurry down the stairs, not wanting to encounter anyone. Smoke and mirrors and fairy tales. I don't want to hear any more of it. There's only one door and its so-called force field in my way. Steeling myself, I walk into the shifting darkness. And it pushes me back. There's no pain, no heat, no tinkle of electricity. It's like walking into a net. It bows away from me, but I can't pass through. I pound a fist against the not-quite substance in front of me with no more effect than punching a mattress.
That's enough.
I turn to see Lynn's behind me, holding a device in his hand with a screen displaying wave patterns. What?
I have enough data for your shield now.
That's right. He wanted to see Bradley and I touch the force field. So you can let us out of here now?
No. The shields must be calibrated for each person wishing to pass through.
Well, you don't have Bradley's data, but you do have mine. So can you let me out now?
I still have to build the electromagnetic coils and tune them to these specifications. It will take time.
Oh. Are you sure you can't turn off the power? Just for a moment? An irritated breath hisses out from between his teeth.
Unfortunately, the breaker box is also hypercharged. We need to make this process work in order to get through the fields to turn the power off.
Well, is there anything I can do to help?
Raphael and I can handle it.
Is he a scientist too?
No, he is an obedient pair of hands.
Come to think of it, Linz did order Raphael to fetch his handcuffs. Is he your boyfriend?
And what if he were?
How would Janet feel? You know what, let's pick a different option. We've always done the I don't want to know. I feel like be intrigued is a good one for Linz. So, oh, both of them lit up. But I'll be happy for them and see what this does. Well, it's your business, not mine. I guess I'd be happy that you're happy. He's a very nice boy. He deserves to be happy. This is true.
And what am I?
I don't know what you are.
A fair statement. But before you confuse Raphael with your kind wishes, I should point out that the question was entirely hypothetical.
They're not lovers then, so why didn't he just say so? He must enjoy being as convoluted as possible. Albin enters the room and scowls at me.
What are you doing out here? Assisting me with my inquiries.
Also, I noticed your gauge didn't go up, Lynn, so good to know. Albin rolls his eyes, apparently not appreciating Linz's odd turn of phrase.
Nathaniel said I should fetch everyone for dinner.
You're letting Bradley out?
He can starve for all I care.
We follow Albin to the dining room where Raphael waits for us.
There you are. Janet, what would you like for dinner?
Janet is in a hurry to leave. If you'll come with me, we can...
You need to eat. You skipped lunch already today.
Oh, all right.
Linz and Albin seat themselves at the table. Is Nathaniel coming?
He's fetching the wine. Now, what do you want for dinner?
What's available?
Eggs, mushrooms, some chicken, 2 bags of salad, pizza, frozen raspberries, baguettes, garlic bread, a couple of tuna steaks, potatoes, corn on the cob, a roast. It's really easier if you say what sort of thing you'd like.
A grilled mushroom sandwich sounds nice. Nathaniel enters carrying 2 bottles of wine.
Would you care for a glass?
I'm underage.
Really? How old are you?
19.
That's old enough.
I think it is in Europe, but not around here. I suppose his parents have been giving him wine since he was a child.
Don't worry, I don't drink either. I'll go check on the food.
As he bustles off to the kitchen, Nathaniel pours a glass of red wine and hands it to Albin without being asked.
Linz?
Up to you. Whatever you think would go best.
Nathaniel pours half a glass of white.
Take it slow. You'll enjoy the flavor more in small amounts.
Linz takes the glass and swirls it thoughtfully before allowing a tiny bit to pass his lips.
I've never really understood the appeal. There are better tastes and faster routes to drunkenness.
But you look more romantic drunk on wine than on vodka.
He salutes Nathaniel with his glass and takes a sizable sip.
One of these days I should find some absinthe.
Ah yes, the true artist beverage. Should you discover a bottle, I would be happy to share it with you.
You do know that's illegal.
Illegal?
It developed an unfortunate reputation for causing hallucinations and madness. Most likely because it was popular with artists, and many of them are at least half mad to begin with.
Albin hides a cough behind his glass.
There are dangers to any drug, legal or illegal. The distinction is usually made by politicians, not scientists.
Still, if it's the law...
Have you never broken a law?
I don't think so.
Would you even know? There are so many laws in the world. You could be violating one right now. Some laws are outdated, or misguided, or written by bigots and fools.
Then you should fight to change the laws.
And if there isn't time?
Well, I guess if it were something really important, then I'd have to think about it. I'm not sure what would be that important, though.
What things are important to you?
My schoolwork? Albin snorts.
In other words, there's nothing in your life worth making sacrifices for.
Hey, I work hard for my grades. When I get out of here, I'm probably not going to get any sleep until Monday in order to finish my homework on time. And there's the rub. Sitting around chatting like this, I can almost believe that these are my friends, that this is a dinner party. I can almost forget about Bradley completely. Almost.
Bring. Now, this bit goes on your back. Allow me.
I can feel his cold fingers against my neck as he brushes my hair aside, and I force myself not to shiver. I am decked out like a jewelry display with wires and magnets and bits of electrical tape. Feels a bit ridiculous, but Linz attaches each piece with surgical concentration. He and Raphael left dinner early to get back to work on this design, while I stayed for dessert with Nathaniel and Albin. Sooner than I expected, they declared it ready for testing. You're sure the shield will work?
The theory makes sense.
The field should flow around you without even noticing the disruption. However, if you feel any pain, pull out right away. Stray electrical charges near your heart would be very unfortunate.
Oh, that's reassuring. But it has to work. Everyone says Linz is good at what he does. When I get through, what do you want me to do? Should I call the police right away? Should I come back in and help you with the power?
I think it would be better if you came back inside.
Once we have proof that this works, we can make better plans from there.
He thumps me on the back, which is slightly annoying, but I'm at least grateful he didn't pat somewhere else.
Everything is in place.
I take a deep breath and turn to face the field.
Right hand first, or either foot.
What is this, Twister? I reach out to the shifting light. But just as before, my hand encounters a barrier that bends without breaking. It's not working.
That can't be right.
I'm sure you can fix it with a few adjustments.
No, something more fundamental is wrong. The shielding should have done something, even if it didn't work entirely. If nothing else, the harmonic should have perturbed it visibly, or burned out the shield generator through runaway positive feedback. This is most intriguing. The field must be operating on a novel principle.
So what do we do now?
Do? There's nothing we can do. If it's not responding to science, then there is no way through the field.
There has to be a way.
I
turn back to the door and pound my fists against it harder. Let me out!
Stop that, you'll damage the equipment.
I want to go home! A sound like ocean waves crashes across my ears and pressure melts at the back of my skull. Vulcan neck pinch, darn it. When I open my eyes again, I'm lying in bed. Everything is quiet and all the magnets are gone. How did I get here? It would be nice to believe that this is Saturday morning and I'm waking up for the first time and this whole day has been nothing but a strange dream. But I know what I felt and what I've seen. If it wasn't real, then I'm crazy. And I can't believe that. So I have to believe that everything is as it seems.
You're awake, thank goodness.
What happened?
You, fainted.
I have never fainted in my life.
Well, you were sort of overexcited and screaming, and, Lynn's knocked you out.
He punched me?
No. It's a thing he can do with nerves.
Well, it still gave me a headache. I wonder if he can teach me to do that.
Anyway, if you're feeling okay, we're all meeting downstairs to talk about what to do next. I'm sorry about this.
It's not your fault. I'm not actually certain how okay I'm feeling. I've never been unconscious before that I know of. Sleep isn't quite the same thing. I could probably use a hand. But I don't like looking weak in front of people, especially after I already got a little bit hysterical earlier. Should Janet ask for help? No. Sorry, Raphael. You go ahead. I'll be right there.
Okay.
He leaves the room, granting me privacy. I stand up, feeling ever so slightly unsteady on my feet, but everything appears to be working. Better get moving, then. The boys, minus Bradley, are gathered in the main hall. Albin leans against a pillar, looking unconcerned. Nathaniel appears more agitated, pacing back and forth in the small space. As for Linz, he's looking up the stairs, at me. As I take a seat beside Raphael on the steps, he begins.
As you all know, there are force fields around all the doors and windows, preventing anyone from leaving the house. There is also a force field preventing us from turning off the power manually.
Nathaniel frowns at that.
Get on with it.
All is not lost. I have set up a process which will build up power until it finally burns itself out completely.
How long will that take?
Approximately 4 days.
4 days?
Please, don't start screaming again.
You can't expect me to stay here for 4 days.
I'm afraid the decision is out of your hands. No one is getting in or out.
What about food and water? And toilet paper? We'll take inventory of what we have on hand and plan accordingly. The water, at least, still seems to be coming through. Also, we should feed Bradley. Do we have to? We can't starve him for 4 days.
We can't leave him locked in a room, either. Everyone turns to stare at me. Think about it. He'd have to use the bathroom.
Bad for the floors.
So what would you propose we do with him?
Me?
I believe that's what I asked.
Well, do you have a bedroom with an ensuite?
Not that I'm willing to allow him into.
What about the upstairs bathroom, then? It's big enough.
So you're not going to insist that we let him out?
I don't know if he's crazy, or you are, or both. But he's the one who had the gun. Nathaniel claps his hands together lightly to draw our attention.
I believe we have a plan. Linz, remove everything from the upstairs bathroom that we might need, or that might be dangerous. Albin, go around the house checking on anything that might be in limited supply, such as soap and toilet paper. Take a tally of what's available. Raphael, I need you in the kitchen. Work out what food we have and how best to make it last. Then find something to feed Bradley. When that's done, we can move him to the other room.
What should I do?
If you could, perhaps help Raphael in the kitchen.
Okay. I wonder what Nathaniel will be doing. Being in charge, I suppose. No one's complaining. We're all locked in here for 4 more days. We have to work together. That's right.
Be quiet already. We fed you, didn't we?
Let me out of here!
Not happening.
The boys have moved Bradley from bedroom to bathroom as planned, but he is not appreciating it.
I've got to find out what's going on.
May I tell him? Albin just shrugs at me.
Do whatever you want.
He walks off, leaving me alone with Bradley. Well, alone with the bathroom door. We tried Linz's idea with the shielding, but nothing happened. We can't get through the force fields and we can't turn them off.
How do you know they're not lying to you about that?
They don't know how to get out either. We're all working together, but we're going to be trapped here for 4 days.
What happens then?
The power overloads and shuts down.
And then we all die.
Haven't you ever heard of thinking positive?
Don't you see? 5 days, 5 years, 5 people, and they never come back.
There are 6 people in the house.
Only because I was holding your hand. There would be 5. 5 times 5. 4 people disappear, becoming 4 people in a house, and we're the 5th. But what will we become?
Wait, are you suggesting that one of those guys is actually your sister?
I don't know, but I need to find out.
Is there any medication you're supposed to be taking?
I'm not crazy, Janet. I just hope you see that before it's too late.
I shake my head, forgetting for the moment that he can't see me. There is no point in continuing this conversation. Lost in thought, I walk down the hallway and turn towards the stairs. And walk into Alvin and Linz. Oh, sorry. Wait, were you spying on me?
Of course.
Well, are you satisfied? I'm not plotting to kill you all or whatever else you think. I'm not speaking in tongues behind your back.
Satisfied. For the moment.
You're the ones hiding something, not me. I don't even know your full names. Enough is enough. Come on. I march past them and snap my fingers in the air. Heel! Head held high, I stride into the main lobby. I don't look back to see if Linz and Albin are following. I can hear them back there, and anyway, they're more likely to obey if I act like I expect it. Raphael? Nathaniel? Everybody get in here. We need to talk. We gotta have a discussion. Once everyone is settled, I begin. We're all going to be stuck in here together for a while, so it's only fair that we should know some things about each other. I don't know how well you guys know each other already, but I don't know anybody. And there are probably things that I ought to know to stop me from sticking my foot in my mouth, which is my whole thing. My whole modus operandi is sticking my foot in my mouth. So, can we please do a basic introduction, even though it won't help me? Who are you? What do you do? And is there anything special I should know about you? I'll start. I'm 19 and a freshman at Brook. I might go pre-med or journalism, but I'm not sure yet. You might have noticed I don't take meat. I don't smoke or drink either. Now you. They look at each other.
I don't know what you want to know.
Well, like you and Linz. Do you work for him? Are you related?
No, We're just roommates. I don't have a job.
How old are you? What about school?
I'm 18. And I'm not in school.
What? Why not?
That is not your business.
But perhaps I could.
Not now.
See, there you go again, hiding things.
You heard him. It's none of your business.
Well, what about you? What do you do? Why are you here?
Maybe I rob banks for a living, and I'm here because he is my guest.
Albin glares at Nathaniel, but cuts off what he was going to say. They're just simple questions. I mean, if we're stuck here, none of you are going to be able to get to work on Monday. Isn't that a problem for you? There's a moment of silence.
This might surprise you, but I do not actually need to work. I'm between jobs.
I am a free agent. I work when I choose.
Well, what about schooling?
I received my bachelor's degree several years ago.
As did I.
I dropped out.
None of you have any reason to leave this house? Isn't that a little odd?
We were all here when you got here, remember?
That's true. Did we accidentally crash a party or something? You know, Bradley started to get the idea that maybe those missing girls he's talking about have somehow turned into you guys, and that's why you all live in this mysterious house.
There really is no mystery here. Linz is here to perform work on the electrical systems. Raphael accompanied him. Albin is my guest, and this is my home.
Linz glares at Nathaniel. I wonder if what he just said is a lie, or a truth Linz didn't want revealed. So, does that mean this whole force field mess is your fault? Albin tosses his head.
This is a waste of time. I don't have to stand around and listen to you ask boring questions.
He shoves himself away from the wall and exits.
And I have research to do, since, as you say, this is all my fault.
Wait for me.
He starts to hurry after Linz, then stops and looks at Nathaniel, then back again.
I'm sorry.
And then he's gone. But I want to help.
Perhaps it would be a good idea for you to retire for the night. You've had a very strange day. I'm sure some rest would do you good.
Fine. Good night. Yes, sir. It's the middle of the night. I was having the strangest dream. I was strapped to a table while Linz covered me with tiny suction cups. Suddenly I heard a commotion and Bradley rushed into the room, pushing Raphael in a wheelbarrow. The wheelbarrow overturned, trapping Linz and Raphael underneath, and Bradley drew his sword and cut the straps that tied me down. Then we had to fight our way into the castle in time to stop Albin from marrying Nathaniel. But there were too many guards, so we had to scare them, so Bradley set me on fire. And that's when I woke up. The house is quiet. Everyone else is probably asleep. I had the whole spooky mansion to myself. When I was little, I used to read girl detective novels. Every old house came complete with secret passages and smuggler's gold. This is my chance to explore. It's not that I don't trust them. Well, okay, it is that I don't trust them. Not completely. Why should I? They don't trust me either. They're not going to tell me everything, so I'll just have to find out on my own. In particular, what is down in the basement? Probably nothing. Probably just some switch boxes and storage and things, but I'd like to see for myself. I'm not an idiot. I'm not going to touch anything that might be related to the electrical system. I just want to look. Now, the staircase down was around here somewhere.
Well, well, what have we here?
Where did he come from?
Sneaking around, Janet.
I was hungry. We gotta protect our Southern Belle virtue, after all, when it comes to Nathaniel. I was hungry, so I came down to make myself a midnight snack, that's all.
After all the worry about making the limited food supply last through 4 days, you're stealing a snack.
Oops. Cover. It's the same amount of food no matter how quickly or slowly we eat it. It only matters that we don't waste any.
And what about making sure that each person gets their fair share?
Change of plans. The best defense is a good offense. What were you doing here? Are you just mad because I caught you trying to sneak food too? No harm done, right? We can both forget all about this and go back to bed.
Together?
What? No.
Go on, then. I'll be right behind you.
Ah! I have had it with you and your insinuations. Do you actually take lessons in being a creepy, twisted little pervert?
I take issue with the little.
Well, tough. And I stomp away before you can get the better of me again. So much for exploring. I shouldn't have lost my temper like that. I don't want him to be my enemy, but I'm tired and I want to go home and I've got no one to rely on but myself, for now. I feel so alone. I wish I had a Nathaniel beside me. Maybe this time I can manage to dream of something happier. We can try. The next morning, I am awakened by a gentle knock at the door.
Janet, are you awake?
I quickly run my fingers through my hair and try to arrange myself. Come in.
Since it's not possible to go out at the moment, I've made the sitting room available this morning for quiet prayer if you wish.
Oh, no, I'm not religious. And I've had more than enough of faking my way through practices I don't believe in with my high school's daily chapel services. I grew up caught between the rituals of my school and the remnants of my grandparents' religion, and never feeling that I quite understood either of them. I don't have any shrines or statues in my dorm room, and I certainly don't go to church. Religion isn't part of my life now. Of course, Vanessa's Christian, and she never goes to church either. I'm not sure very many people do if they're not obligated by schools or families.
Well then, we'll see you for breakfast when you're ready.
He leaves me to finish my morning preparations. When I come downstairs, Nathaniel and Linz are waiting for me.
What did you and Raphael work out about the food arrangements?
Is Raphael not here? There should be enough to go around as long as we don't waste anything. Your kitchen was pretty well stocked. There are some fresh strawberries that need to be eaten today. All the meat is frozen, so it's vegetables, bread, and milk that will go off fastest. After that, just make sure that when you cook things, you eat the leftovers quickly. Since it appears to be serve yourself this morning, I head into the kitchen to get some fruit and plain cereal. Nathaniel follows and does the same, although he picks a cereal with nuts in it. Lynn shows no interest in the food, heading straight for the French press to make a cup of coffee. We may run out of milk before the 4 days. 3 now, I suppose, are up, but there's plenty of oatmeal and spices, and I can make porridge with water. I return to the dining room to eat my breakfast. Nathaniel comes in from the kitchen, bringing a glass of water along with his cereal.
Mustn't forget these.
I wonder if we find out about these roses one day. You can explain the meaning of the roses. Is Bianca your rosebud or something? He picks out one of the pots of roses and carefully adds a small amount of water. They're very pretty.
And helpless. But as long as we are here to care for them, they will bloom for us.
He finishes watering the roses and settles in with his cereal. A minute or two later, Albin turns up.
I thought you were... Nah, it's not the same. Anyway, it's not my fault I'm stuck in here. Coffee's in the pot. Thanks.
He heads off to the kitchen. Addicts.
No coffee for you, then?
Only when I need to stay up late typing or something. By the way, is there somewhere I can get on the internet from here? I know the phones are down, but it might still work.
The what?
The internet. To send an email?
I don't understand.
I guess he's not much for computers. I shrug and turn to Linz. Does your connection work? Can I borrow it?
What sort of connection?
To connect your computer to the network.
Which network?
The internet.
Which internet?
Stop playing dumb. If you don't want me using your computer, just say so.
Do you know what she's talking about?
I'm not sure.
How can they possibly not know what the internet is? Something's not right here. The internet. The World Wide Web. The information superhighway and Al Gore's stupid campaign speeches.
Who?
For a moment, I'm lost for words. This isn't possible. Albin re-enters, carrying a mug and some toast.
Morning.
Who's the president?
What? The president of what?
The president of the United States.
The United Arab States. I'm not certain. I've never been there.
Who rules this country?
Queen Charlotte, nominally. Ferrara's prime minister, though.
I just stare.
What's with her?
This is the United States of America. We have a president, not a queen. No country has a Queen Charlotte, and everyone knows what the internet is.
She's as crazy as Bradley.
I am not crazy. I fetch my purse and dig out what money I had with me. Just a few bills and coins, but they're enough to show the logos and famous figures of the USA.
Where did these come from? Plenty of board games print funny money.
Not coins. Lance picks up a nickel and eyes it curiously.
And these dates are accurate.
Why wouldn't they be?
They're in the future.
She's supposed to be a time traveler now?
Not exactly. Some of these years are real.
What year is it for you?
1984.
Over 20 years in the past.
Where do you come from?
I come from here. I went to high school at St. Teresa's and then to Brook College, and then I went on a drive with Bradley, and...
There's no school named Brook College near here.
I've lived here in Memphis my whole life.
Memphis was a city in ancient Egypt. This is Chickasaw Oaks.
Bradley was right. This house doesn't exist. You're all... hallucinations or spirits or something.
She's lost it.
I can assure you that I am quite real.
He touched me earlier when he was setting up the magnets for the tests. He's not a ghost. But what is he?
Do you have any other evidence of your story?
Do you have any evidence of yours?
I believe I asked you first.
I shake out my purse onto the table, revealing a book, published in the USA 1991, a pen, a hairbrush, a key ring, my wallet, with up-to-date bank cards, student ID, and state non-driver's ID, a packet of tissues, a squish pack of vending machine crackers, and, of course, my cell phone. I hand over the evidence, along with explanations. After I turn on the cell phone, Linz takes it from my hand and stares in fascination. What's so exciting about no signal?
Full color and such high resolution in something so small.
You really are living in the past.
It's just a toy.
I'm sure we could produce a toy like this, with dedicated factories, but the cost would be far too much for a prank. Even for someone like Nathaniel.
Do you truly come from our future, Janet?
There wasn't a Queen Charlotte in the 80s either. There hasn't been a king or queen here for over 200 years.
A parallel universe. Fascinating.
That's impossible.
Not impossible. Just very, very improbable.
Perhaps you judge Bradley's motives too quickly.
I never denied having a colossal ego.
Bradley! We have to let him out and find out what he knows. He's been researching this.
He attacked us.
He was scared and confused. He won't do it again.
So you're on his side after all.
I'm on my side.
Something very strange is going on. We should share what knowledge we have. Well, I won't be a part of it. Come on, Linz. If they're letting him out, we better make sure that the lab is secure.